What's groovy, y'all? My name is Danye.
And I'm Marcia, and this is the
Hey Sissy Podcast. Sissy, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time to boss up.
We so cheesy. It's precious. As you all can see, I have on this lovely The Bawse Conference t-shirt because that's what I just spent my weekend doing in Miami at Courtney Adeleye's, the CEO of The Main Choice and the creator of The Foolproof Body and Lily Frilly. She's a multi-business person, multi-millionaire, and she had her second annual The Bawse Conference. And if you can't tell from my voice, I had a grand old time, which is why I sound like a smoker from 1958. But yeah, so just wanted to do this episode to come on and share my experience with you all. And Diane's gonna ask me some questions. And so essentially, excuse me, the conference was in Miami in the lovely Lowe's Hotel on Miami Beach. We could walk down to the beach from my hotel. It was beautiful. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen all the pictures of me posting about my experience over the 3 days. It started on Friday, August 23rd, and I came back home today, Monday, August 26th. So basically what happened was I found out about the conference back in March. I happened to just be Googling Courtney, and I put in who's the boss, and this conference came up. And then I saw it, and I was like, I should go to that. And so I got my little old bonus from the job. Shout out to the 9 to 5 for the extra bonuses. Okay. And I decided to sign up. I got my conference registration in March, bought my plane ticket in April, and I was set to go. And it was totally worth it. Yeah.
All right. So, what did you enjoy most about the conference?
Okay, so there's 3 things I enjoyed about the conference. Mainly, I enjoyed like the whole organization of it. It was, for the second year, very well organized. And even the organization even started before we even got to the conference because they have a private Facebook group for the ladies who were going to conference this year. You had to put in, I think, your order number, your name, your email you registered with, and you got to join this group. And the energy in the group really set the energy for the conference. Right. Women were in there posting encouragement, posting pictures of themselves, so you got to see the ladies beforehand, know who's coming, know what kind of businesses the ladies are going to have. Basically a full representation of who's going to be there with you. And one of the great things that resulted of the Facebook group is this young lady I met, Ataria. She posted in the group asking who was flying out of Houston. I responded, and she and I were on the same flight out to Miami. So we met up at the airport beforehand. So my trip started off great with a great connection. Ataria is currently the owner of an online boutique called So You Fancy. It's SEWYOUFANCY. And she has an online boutique, and she has some cute stuff, and she started her boutique in June. And so it was great chatting with her to start the trip off right. And then when we got to Miami, she was in the back of the plane, so she even met 2 more ladies from Houston. And we even met one of the presenters while we were in the airport in Miami, Christy Jackson Muhammad. She was excellent, by the way. I'll talk more about the presenters later. And so it was basically, we just started off right, just on a good energy. And then as we went through each event during the conference, everything was well organized. We knew where we were going. We knew what time we had to be there. And when they said be there at 5:15, baby, they meant 5:15. They was leaving. If you wasn't in line, you was in the back of the line. People was not playing. Some people was in the front of the line. They would line up 45 minutes ahead of time because you want to get a good seat. You want to hear the knowledge that was being dropped. And everything operated smoothly. Like for a second year conference, I have a few complaints. And the complaints I have are not a result of Courtney's and her team. It may be complaints about the hotel staff or something else, but her team, flawless. They worked hard.
That's good.
So that's one of the main things that I like. Another thing I like is all the events.
Wait, I got a question.
Okay, yes ma'am.
So you was talking about the energy and the vibe, not with just conferences or events, just with everything included with that. How important is energy and vibe?
Okay, so I've only been to like a handful of conferences. I've been to the professional conferences with my job. I've been to Christian Women's Conference. So this is my first like kind of, I want to say, women empowerment conference. And I think the energy and vibe is important because the energy that people bring to a conference can ruin your experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're doing something by yourself or something that's completely out of your normal way of operating,
Mm-hmm.
some people may have a reserved energy or guarded energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like if you go to something with the intentions to make meaningful connections, I'm going to say that 1,000 times in this podcast, make meaningful connections, to connect with women on your level,
Mm-hmm.
to connect with women above your level. Like when you set those intentions,
Mm-hmm.
God's just gonna provide.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to go into these things with a positive outlook, knowing that I came here to change some things in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
I also think, to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, I believe that energy and vibe is very important because it adds to the experience.
Mm-hmm.
When you're energetic, when you're open-minded,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna receive so much more from anything that you go to, whether it's a conference or an event or just doing something fun,
Mm-hmm.
going out with friends, family. When you just have an open mind and have just a ready energy, it just it elevates everything.
It honestly does, because you can go to a real nice event and be like, oh, it was okay, you know, everything was nice or whatever. But my experience was enhanced 10 times more because of the women I hung out with. Like we hung out, I kept feeling like I met these women before. Never met them, but for some reason they all felt familiar.
Right.
And it was just like God was putting this together. Because we all just naturally gravitated to each other. There's one young lady I met, her name is Sunshine. She's an artist, so she raps and she performs. And Ataria, Raisha, and I were walking to the bar. We were going to go get food. And Ataria spotted Sunshine. She's like, oh, she's sitting by herself. We should go sit with her. You wouldn't do that normally with a stranger if you were just out and about with your friends. But we saw her and we immediately went and sat with her and introduced ourselves, immediately embraced her into the fold.
Right.
I just met Ataria 3 hours before. And so that enhanced our experience entirely, because we all had the mindset of coming to meet other like-minded women.
And I think that having that open mind and bringing that energy, I think it kind of goes off of what you're saying, that things just kind of flow naturally. And how you're saying God will provide, I think things will begin to fall in place in a line. You will meet the people that you should be meeting, make connections, network with people that, you know, y'all can all bring something to the table, you know, to, you know, just help each other out, you know, develop great friendships, make great connections.
And I think, I hadn't heard Courtney say this, but I'm confident that her and her team started this Facebook group so that it could build up the energy before the conference.
Right.
Because I think without it, people would have gone into the conference kind of guarded. Because if you were in the group, being in that group made you hype.
Right.
Because everybody's posting, everybody's laughing, and one lady I met, Zephaniah, she asked the ladies to vote on 2 dresses, and people responded and voted, and she picked the dress we voted for, and we saw her in it, and it was beautiful on her. So it really built it up. And Courtney, like, you can tell she has a heart to help people, and her team has that same heart. And them thinking to start a group, like, it was the best thing they could have done.
Right. I also think definitely when it comes to friendships and connections, if you feel like the vibe is off, the energy is off, then let me not say cut them off.
Cutting people off.
I would say kind of separate yourself to a certain extent, and kind of open yourself to be more open to people that are on a higher level than you, who are like-minded, like such as yourself. It's very important, because when you're not on the same energy level or mental level with people, it can be draining and it can bring you down. So you may not have to totally cut those people off, but definitely separate yourself and be open to finding more people who have that same personality or energy as you, that can bring new stuff to the table that will just get you pumped up.
Yeah, it's like after this, one of my Instagram followers, she and I went to high school together, Lisa. She messaged me and she was like, do you think this is a repeat event? I said, definitely repeatable. And it's because I know the experience is not going to be the same. People who went last year So they enjoyed it, loved it. And it was just like, I would go again just for the connections I made. Because I know that I'm going to meet some amazing women. Because there were people who didn't get to go to this conference. So there's new people I can meet and connect with. I would definitely go again. Well, if I go next year, not to be determined, but I would definitely go again in the future.
Of course. It makes me want to go.
Okay.
What else? Is there anything else that you enjoyed about it?
Yeah. So the events were elegant, baby. What we paid for the conference did not cover the events that were the yacht party, a 4-story yacht. I know dang well my little part of my registration did not cover that yacht itself. The hotel was gorgeous. We were on the 17th floor. The view from that hotel, go look at my Instagram, Marcia A. Garnett on Instagram. I took some bomb photos, okay? And so that was amazing. The events were all great. There was a Harlem Renaissance Gala. All the ladies were looking beautiful in our little gowns. Flashback. Also, the DJ Tracy Steele, bomb DJ.
Had y'all jamming.
Had us jamming. In there twerking in our ball gowns. Okay, we in there doing swag surfs and backing that thing up. She kept the energy going. A good DJ can keep things going. A bad DJ can ruin a night. So Tracy did an amazing job as DJ. The luau started things off right. There was a mixer on Friday that started the conference off right. Everybody was looking beautiful, taking photos. The whole experience was just great. OMG, Fred Hammond came through for a brunch. I ain't listened to Fred Hammond's music in years, but I remembered all those lyrics. I was just like, yes, I'm gonna have to start jamming Fred Hammond again. Everything, amazing. Tweet performed. Jay Nova.
You said who?
Tweet. She's an R&B singer from the 99 to the 2000s.
Oh, okay.
And then Jay Nova, she started off doing Beyonce impersonations, but then she sings and she has an album that came out recently. So yeah, some great performances, some great events. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think going to little stuff like that is very important. I think everybody should try to get to something like that.
Yes.
Like any event, if you may not have the necessary funds to go to something like that, there are plenty of other events that people have that are affordable and sometimes even free.
Yeah.
And I think just the opportunity just to get, little nuggets, whether they're spiritual or not, to help you with in business, in life, in your day-to-day, I think it's important that we should at least take some time out to go to that.
Yeah, because there's always going to be local events. Because we met one lady from Dallas. I'm not going to mention her name yet because she hasn't announced this officially. But she's planning a networking type event in Dallas for Black women entrepreneurs. So there's always people doing that. If you don't know Eventbrite,
oh yes, that's good.
EVENTBRITE. They have anybody can post an event on there, and oftentimes they're free or low cost events in your local area. So you don't have to fly all the way to Miami to make good connections, to collaborate with people. You can stay in your local area. I just want to say, sometimes the events don't be all that, but it also depends on your energy, like we said, your intention. You can go to any event and make a good connection with someone. So yeah, just try your local area first. You don't have to go all the way out to the Bawse Conference to make good connections.
And don't ever think there's a shortage of opportunity.
Oh no.
There's always something available for all of us to grab a hold of to gain something. Even if it's just like a quick event that's a day, a couple hours or something like that. There's a plethora of opportunities that each of us can take and use to help us,
Yeah, and if you don't see the opportunities, you can always make it. Yeah, the library got meeting rooms for free, baby.
Yeah, make your own opportunity. Research, Google.
If you have an apartment, some apartments will let you rent out your leasing space for just a little cash or something. You could do a little small event, be like, hey, I just want to set up a networking for XYZ type of people in this industry. It'd be $10. Some apartment leasing offices, they charge you like $150 deposit. You just charge $10. You provide some little snacks and stuff. You can have it set up. So yeah, if you don't see it, make it. Okay, so another thing I just want to talk about that I really enjoyed was the presentations, the panels. So it started the conference off with a panel with Super Scent, the owner of the Crayon Case, Miss Judy Jessica Dupar, she's on the Real Big Booty Judy on Instagram. She owns Kaleidoscope Products. You may have heard of the Miracle Drops. She has a book called When the Miracle Drops. And then Miss Bling Miami, she has an online boutique that she has. And also, of course, Courtney Adeleye was on the panel. She was asking them questions. And that panel started the conference off right. Miss Bling started preaching immediately. And it was amazing.
Amen.
They all have great testimonies, amazing testimonies. Super and Judy's friendship is so precious. And the admiration that they have for each other goes, #goes. Because they all just admire each other so much. And you can feel their energy in the audience. And yeah, and so the presentations were all great. I went to Judy's presentation. I've seen her speak before, and I just love when she talks.
Right.
And if you hadn't heard her talk, her motto is pray through the process. Judy puts God in everything. They all do. They all talk about God heavily in their business. Every time they opened their mouths, they gave glory to God, and they talked about things God is doing in their lives. One presentation that was my favorite was Christy Jackson Muhammad. She talked about strategic marketing. Baby, that presentation was only 45 minutes. It felt like it was 15. We was so upset when it had to end.
Right.
We was like, no.
We need more.
And you can tell, like, her presentation was her strategic marketing. It was like, she had us eating from the palm of her hands, wanting more.
Right.
And we gonna get more.
Right.
She gave us a discount code for her website. And I hope I can still use that. Speaking of, to buy some things, I'm gonna for sure go buy her book off of there, and it was just great.
I think what you were saying is representation is good. Seeing other Black women and they're thriving,
baby,
and their achievements and what they're doing should just really give you a push and a drive to go do it for yourself.
Yes.
And how you were saying how they all admire each other, they love on each other, and they support each other. That's very important to see that you have multiple women in the same who are all Black. They all Black, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you see that they all are, have thriving businesses. They're all successful, which lets you know that there's enough to go around for everybody, that one person is not for one person, that we all have the ability to go forward, you know, which is very important to hold on to.
Yes, and the interesting, so the boss, one of the mottos is collaboration over competition. And Judy talked about how when her and Super and Courtney and Miss Bling all got together to record a promo video, they stayed up all night. And Courtney shared with Judy how to get her products in Target. They're in the same beauty hair care industry. But Courtney told her step by step, this is how you get your products into Target. Judy's products are in Target now. Mere months after they did this promo shoot.
And the other lady who gave her the advice?
Courtney Adeleye.
Gave her the advice, and she didn't lose no money for it.
No money. It cost her nothing
to do that. So don't think if you can help people out, give them the steps, network with each other, help each other, and don't think that because you do that you're gonna lose out. It's a win-win for both of y'all.
It's a win-win. Yeah, and it was just so amazing. It was over 600 women at this conference. It was amazing to be surrounded by so many beautiful Black women. I think I may have saw a handful of non-Black women, but over 600 of us gorgeous, melanated women loving on each other, who all have businesses or aspiring to have business, have nonprofits, doing big things, having big visions. The way we helped each other, when we found out this person had a business, if we met someone who could help them, connect them. You need to talk to her. Like, for example, my friend, I'm calling them friends now, they friends. She wants to start a bra line. So we was giving her all kinds of deals. We were like, we don't like this type of bra, we don't like that. Can you do this? Can you do that? And so I met another lady and so that lady I met came and sat next to us. And I was just asking her, because I didn't ask her earlier. I was like, hey, what do you do? She's like, oh, I'm a radio personality in Boston, and I'm starting a bra line. I said, you starting a bra line? Z, she's starting a bra line. I said, KB, she's starting a bra line. Y'all should talk. And they talked, and I just walked off. And it was just great. And Raisha did the same thing. She was connecting people. We was connecting people because we knew that's what we were there for.
Right.
To make connections, to collaborate.
All right. Connections and collaboration are very important.
Yes, they are.
Because you never know who you can encounter, who you just never know.
Yeah, you don't know who you can help and who can help you.
Yeah, so definitely always be open-minded to going to stuff like that. Don't think that you got to do it by yourself or you got to do it alone. Sometimes you may have to start it off by yourself, but little stuff like that, going to conferences, networking events like that, you never know what can happen, who you can encounter. So definitely be open-minded for stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so how are you going to boss up?
Thank you for that quick question. So I've already thought of some things, especially from Christy's session, about how I can take my editing marketing to the next level. So because Courtney and Judy and Miss Bling and Super, they all have products. So I always felt like a lot of their advice was geared towards products. So I kind of struggled a little bit to figure out how I can take their advice and apply it to my service, my editing services. Christy's presentation helped me to see how I did that. It was like while she was talking, things started clicking in my mind. I was like, I can do this, I can do that. Okay, yes. And so essentially my plan to boss up is to start committing real dedicated time to my business. Because right now I kind of just flow in and like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But I'm gonna start blocking off real dedicated time, making true plans for my marketing, a true budget for my marketing. Because now I'm like, oh, I think I'll do $30 on a little Facebook ad, a little $25 on a little Instagram ad. No, I'm gonna start making a real budget, start building up my portfolio. I have a portfolio I'm gonna start building up further and further. And I'm just gonna basically stop treating my business as a side hustle. My little business. It's not a little business. My friend messaged me, she's like, don't ever say it's your little business no more. I was like, yes ma'am, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna start treating my business like a business. I'm about to be working 80 hours a week, y'all. Don't call me. I ain't gonna be able to answer the phone. We're gonna record this. Yeah, we're gonna record this podcast for an hour out of the week, and then you won't hear me. I'm gonna be ghost
doing your work.
I might pop up for Instagram story post every now and again.
Time is important too.
It is.
So, what advice would you give to someone else to boss up?
Basically, make your plan, execute it. Don't overthink it. Don't try to figure out A to Z before you start, because you'll never start. If you decide to start a business, start the business. Secure your domain. The easiest thing you can do is buy your domain name and start an Instagram page and a Facebook page. That's so easy. Just at least get it. Figure out your name. Scoop up all your name rights for everything. Get it. Create a DBA. Create an EIN. Do your research on Google. There is so much information on Google, and you don't have to start out. You don't need no money starting out. EIN is free. A domain costs you like $20. We spend $20 at Chick-fil-A or currently Popeyes. Buy your domain, start Instagram. All that stuff is free. EIN is free. A DBA, at least in Texas,
it's $16.
That's all you need. A DBA is called doing business as. It's just basically letting the state know that I started a business and this is the name of my business and I'm gonna start doing business under this name. That's all you really need to get started. And then figure out who your audience is, who you're marketing to, what their needs are. Once you know who you're going after and what they need, you can target them in a way that is useful for them and helpful for them.
Yeah, I think what you said is important, not to overthink. Like you said, we always try to have everything figured out.
We do.
Before we even get started. And I understand we all want big goals and big ambitions, like, oh, with my business, I want to own 5 restaurants and do this and that. That's great. But let's start with the one business now, get that thriving and, everything. Then, like you said, start at A. Then, as A is doing well, move to B,
Yeah. You can plan from A to Z. You can have your 20-year plan in mind. And then break it down in steps to like, okay, So this is what I want in 20 years. What do I need to do in year 1?
Right.
And start executing year 1.
Right. I think one thing with bossing up, time, consistency, and commitment. Consistency and commitment is important.
Yes.
One, you're going to make time for the things that you want.
Yes.
So make the time for whatever it is that you want to do. Make the time for that.
Yes.
We all should spend less time watching TV, on our phones, social media, whatever the case may be. So make time for it. Be committed to it. Like, okay, like dedication, commitment. Like, okay, I really want to do this. I'm going to take my time out for it. Like you said, you're going to dedicate time for it. Specific time. That always goes back into make time for it. And then being consistent. That's one thing that I've struggled with. It's consistency. You know, we have to always, always be posting, always, be doing something towards whatever we're trying to do. So if you're, for your editing business, always, trying to get new clientele, go out and network, or always be working on something editing. So definitely time, consistency, and commitment is very important. Sacrifice as well.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you you can sleep when you die, but be prepared to have a lack of sleep. Because I know for me, once I start doing something, I don't want to put it down. I was formatting one of my clients' book. I stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning because I want to make sure my formatting was on point. I was testing it. I was uploading it to ebook software and stuff to see how it looked. And I couldn't go to sleep until I knew I had done this thing right. And if you're passionate about what you're doing, expect to have a lack of sleep. Get some sleep because you're going to need it. You're going to need some energy. If you can get in 3-4 hours a night, if possible, do it. But know that if you are truly committed to it, this is your passion. You're going to lack some sleep. You're going to lack some calories because sometimes I'll be forgetting to eat. I'll eat at 6 and be up till 3 a.m. and be like, I'm hungry. But now I got to go to sleep because now I got to go to the 9 to 5 at 7:30. It ain't really a 9 to 5 to me. It's 7:30 to 4:30. So I was like, I got to go to bed. I'll eat in the morning, I guess.
I got to be the opposite on that point, though. I would say, for me, I would say no, don't lose sleep.
No, I'm not saying don't lose sleep. Just be prepared to know you ain't going to always get a full 8 hours.
No, but I would say definitely try to get the healthy amount of 6 to 8. I would say this because put some time into it, go to bed early enough, and then you can wake up early.
If that's how you are, I'm a night owl.
Okay.
Like, I can stay up late, and I'd be struggling to get up early. That's probably why I struggle to get up early. But even when I go to sleep early, I just can't get up early. I don't know why. I go to sleep at 9 and still wake up at 9 a.m. Like, I didn't need 12 hours. I just couldn't get up at 7. Couldn't get up at 6. But I can stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know.
Don't be going 2-3 days without sleep, though. I understand you want to go, but get you some sleep. And if you find yourself maybe you lacking a little eating, try to stay towards the healthier side. Don't get fast food because that can be draining.
Yeah, definitely get healthy stuff for you to have in your house.
Something for you to snack on that you can grab hold to if you do find yourself not getting up. And
meal prep and health.
Yeah. All right. I'm a boss up too.
Okay.
So what advice or tips did you receive that stood out?
So like I mentioned, the strategic marketing information that Christy shared, specifically the statistics she shared on video. Like basically video is the #1 thing that people look at on social media. Like video is #1, audio is #2, and photos was #3. I know on Instagram we post a lot of photos, but people really just be scrolling through photos. People stop to see videos because they want to see what you're saying. Like you posted that video, and you had like over 300 and something views, but you be having like 3 likes on photos.
I know, right?
People will watch to see if they will stop to see a video, especially if you're talking about a current event, which you were. So she was like, do more videos, post videos every day. And when she said that, it really clicked to me how I can post videos for my business.
Right.
She's like, more people watch stories than they look at timelines.
Right.
I'm one of those people. I will look at everyone's story. That's what I look at Instagram. I look at stories. I kind of scroll through timelines once my stories have run out.
Right.
So she gave real practical tips. Also, don't sleep on Facebook. I know you young ones, you like Facebook is for the old people. But when we've been trying to decide on a name for the podcast, we did a poll on Instagram and a poll on Facebook. Where was our most engagement at?
Facebook.
Twice. Don't sleep on Facebook. Also, Pinterest. If you're a woman and you have a business targeting women be on Pinterest. If you do hair, you do clothes and all of that, you need to be on Pinterest, posting your stuff on there, tagging it with the appropriate boards, because people share that stuff and then people always click on it and they could go to your website. I know I go on Pinterest because I'm pretty struggling with my little styling. I don't always know how to style myself. So sometimes I go on Pinterest and try to figure out how to buy clothes. Look, I'm working on it. If you knew who I was raised with, she didn't care about clothes. Look at that. I got learns. But yeah, you can link your businesses on Pinterest. One stylist I met, Christina Benjamin, she's a hairstylist that specializes in alopecia clients. She said she's not on Pinterest, but people will bring her work on Pinterest and say, can you do this for me? I was like, you on Pinterest, but you not on Pinterest. Right. And so the information that Chrissy provided was very helpful. And of course, always put God in the middle. Right. Judy's slogan, pray through the process, is legit. We got to pray through the process. Because day in and day out, you're going to be doing a lot of things on your own. It's going to get stressful. You got to talk to God. Jesus, Lord, help me.
I need some peace.
God.
Yes. Check out our episode on relaxing.
Yeah. Episode 2. So yeah, everything.
Just everything. I mean, just the fact that you have so many positive things, no negative things to say about the conference lets you know, says a lot. So you want to surround yourself with stuff like that, with people who is going to give you excellence, people who's going to bring the energy, people who going to make you laugh, people who going to pick you up when you down. You know, that's what you want to be around. That's what you want to be involved in. So that's really good. I'm glad you had a good time.
Me too.
Miami.
Yeah, it was amazing. And you don't always have to go to like a big Bawse conference to get that type of energy, because it's you can bring that energy wherever you go. And one last thing I'm gonna say, I was thinking to myself when I was praying. I woke up early this morning. It was like up at 4 o'clock in the morning because Raisha and Sunny had left. And I just stayed up and I went out on the patio and I prayed and I talked to God and I was like, God, I'm gonna keep this same energy from this conference. Because when I work from home and my editing business currently is a solo business, so sometimes when I'm by myself I feel kind of stagnant. So one of my main goals is to keep that same energy I had at the conference in my day-to-day life. Remember that energy and let it fuel me day in and day out.
That's good, because a lot of times we have dreams, we have goals and ambitions, and we may start doing it, but a lot of life pressures, things kind of stop us from going after it, or we don't have that same motivation or passion that we used to have for it. So I think that's important what you said, to keep that energy, to keep that why. I've learned that why is so important. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want to do what you want to do? And whatever your why is should motivate you, should constantly push you. If your why does not push you, if your why does not motivate you, if your why does not help push you through the struggle, through the stress, through the pain, through all of that, then your why is not strong enough and maybe you're in the wrong area. So definitely start with your why. Why do you want to do this? You know, so that's important.
And that requires you to be in a constant state of reflection. Reflect on each day, reflect on your interactions with people, see how you can adjust or pivot accordingly. All right, well, thank you for joining us on this episode of the
Hey Sissy Podcast.
Tune in for new episodes, and if you don't, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and also you can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, yes, and coming soon Apple, as soon as they accept our application. Apple Podcasts coming soon. All right,
peace.